This is Influencing the Right Way. Our goal is to raise the standard of the fitness industry. We're out here trying to make people's lives as healthy and as happy as we possibly can. And the only way we're going to do that is if we take it as serious as a medical doctor does. What is going on, guys? You're back again, Influencing the Right Way with the Viking. And always, I have with me
Sarah freaking Sloan.
No, that's the one. That's it. Sarah freaking Sloan. That's it. All right. We've come a long way, guys. We found it. We found the intro. All right. Guys, this is Influencing the Right Way. So what we do here, we're trying to raise the standard of the fitness industry. We're trying to take it from being a part-time job, a gig you got, into something that transforms other people's lives. We're here to make people's lives healthier, happier, longer, and we should view ourselves as medical professionals. What we do is we deal directly with people's health in their health in a very intimate way. The way that your doctor needs to have good bedside manner and be able to hold your hand and talk you through things that you're going to be going and doing and need to make changes for, that's the same thing that we have to do. And we have to be professionals in the way that we do it. If we do that, we can actually have a huge impact on people's lives and how they live their life and, you know, what they're able to do. There's a lot of things that we can change by just simply taking what we do very serious. Cool. So let's get started.
Yeah.
All right. So today we have a problem that we see in every single, if you're in the fitness industry, staying motivated to what you're doing.
And I know you've even experienced it yourself.
100%.
I've been unmotivated before.
Very unmotivated. I would say actually very unmotivated. Just like anybody, you know, it's like the common thing. Like I think about this as like, okay, I started a business and I'm in the fitness industry, so I should be working out a ton. I should be eating healthy. I should be doing all those things. But like anything else, it's like taking a big career change, starting this business, growing a team, doing all these things. And like the excuse is I don't have time. I can't find that motivation to make it happen at 5 a.m. or at 7 p.m. or whatever. There's a way to combat this. There's a way to get past that lack of motivation.
Yeah, and you can imagine if you do view yourself as professional, as a medical doctor, and you're so invested in someone's health, and you know exactly what they have to do, and you're telling them how to get there, but then they're just like not doing it, that can be so frustrating.
Yep.
Because you're like, I know how to fix it. I'm telling you to do it.
So what we're going to do is we are going to use the dream outcome, right? The dream outcome is, we're going to take some time explaining about how we get there and what it is. But I want to lay down the premise that what this is different than your goal.
Give us the strategy behind it. I'll lay down the tactics of how to do it.
There we go. Love it. Strategy tactics. Okay, so really what we're talking about is when somebody comes as a client to us, we have to be able to get them to achieve their goal. And their goal does have to be something that you're accountable for, right? It means you can count it. There's a number. We want to lose 10 pounds of body fat. We want to gain 5 pounds of muscle. We want to decrease our mile time by 30 seconds. We want to increase our bench by 40 pounds. See, in all these things, I can show you the number that changed over some period of time, showing that we've made progress. In fitness, that matters. You know, I use a lot of externalities there. Decreasing your heart rate, decreasing your HDL, your bad cholesterol. There's a lot of things that we can talk about through nutrition, about your internal systems that are going to show and reflect being a much healthier individual. Again,
and those are fitness goals, right?
Those are fitness goals, right? That's what you can do to help people. You may be a nutrition coach, you may be a fitness coach, whatever.
We do have to find that. That is very important.
We have to have that to be able to show that we've seen results. But that's not how we keep people going. A number very rarely is going to be that drive that pushes you over the fucking edge, that makes you do unbelievable things and makes you overcome insurmountable odds. All of these things can only be brought down by the fire and brimstone that is the dream fucking outcome. The dream outcome is that goal with an emotional connection. Mm-hmm. What is your emotional connection to do that? Nobody on planet Earth woke up and said, I want to fucking work hard every day, eat not delicious food to drop 10 numbers on a little scale that sits at my house.
What do people say instead?
I want to be confident. I want to feel like I did 10 years ago. I want to be able to walk into a room and know that I look the best that I can. I want to feel like I am somebody that just people are staring at because they look so good. Those are the things, those are the emotional connections that we have to whatever that goal is.
Yeah, I want to walk down the aisle at my wedding and look back at my wedding pictures and just be so excited with the person that was standing there.
When I retire, I want to be able to run and play ball with my grandkids. Those are things that are emotional drivers.
The dream outcome.
The dream.
That's what they want to get out of whatever the goal is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, like anything, here's the problem, right? We got to keep clients motivated so that way they also stay with us and they keep seeing results. The answer is the dream outcome, right? But like anything, this is a business, so we got to have a process. We got to have a system. We got a way to replicate it and do it over and over. Let's get started with this.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Tactics time. Okay, so first comes down to finding out their goal. That's how you get into the hot button, right? So you'll clearly ask them, what is your goal? Now, they're going to give you some crappy answer of...
Play it. Ask me my goal. What's my goal?
What is your goal?
I kind of want to like tone up. I just want to I want to be like healthy, be fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So from there, I would ask you, okay, well, what does healthy look like for you?
Just I think kind of like, being more toned and like feeling better. Yeah, okay. Feeling better.
So then it sounds like your goal is to lose some body fat. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
So the reason why I would get super specific and then clarify a goal with you is because I get this one a lot where they're like, I just want to be stronger. I'm like, okay, well, it sounds like we want to put on some muscle mass. Sounds like we want to put on some weight. Because if you're going to put on muscle mass, you're going to put on weight. There's no other way around it.
That's the way it goes.
So then I'll say, hey, it sounds like we want to put on weight. Does that sound about right?
Oh, no, I don't want to put on weight.
Oh, no. And then you're like, okay, well then what is your goal then?
Oh, well, I guess I want to be I just want to be able to see my muscles a lot better.
Beautiful. Okay, so then it sounds like our goal is to lose body fat. Does that sound about right?
Okay, yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, I just want to be able to see the abs.
Perfect. Great example. So then once we clarify what their goal is, super specific, they verbally said, yes, that is what I want to do. Then tonality is everything with this one, but we're going to ask them why they decided that was their goal. So then it sounds like that's your goal, right? You say, yes. I'm going to say, well, why did we decide that we wanted to lose some body fat?
I don't know. I think it would be better if I was a little bit leaner.
Yeah. Well, what is leaning out? What would that do for you? How would that make you feel?
Okay. Well, if I'm being honest, I don't know. I recently got out of a relationship and I feel a little awkward, like meeting guys, and I'm a little bit thicker than I used to be before.
Yeah. So then if we were to lean up a little bit, how would your confidence change when you went out on dates or met new people? What would that do for you?
I mean, of course, yeah. Like I would be able to wear that little black dress and I would feel sexy and I wouldn't be thinking about is he looking at my pooch? And I would just feel better and feel like I'd be able to be in the moment more.
Bing, bing, bing. Dream outcome is looking good in a little black mini dress. And we can use that when we're pushing her hard during a workout. Hey, Stacy, how bad do you want to look good in that little black mini dress?
Absolutely.
Boom, boom, boom.
Now we got it over and over. So we kind of role played through that scenario. And I want to take a step back real quick. And so what we did there, actually, honest to God, is going to happen to you every single time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Trainers, I see this a lot where somebody signs up to train with you and you haven't ascertained exactly what their goal is. So you can't even get the dream outcome yet. And to be really honest, this is the part that I want to go to. Most people do not have a goal for anything they want to do. But let me explain why. That doesn't mean they're an idiot. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means that, like all people, the reason why most people are not successful in their endeavors is they say something like, this is the second time I'm going to use this now in a podcast. I want to learn a language, right? I want to learn a language. Well, what does that mean? Why
did you decide you wanted to learn that language?
Well, no, before why is, what does knowing a language mean to you? What is the clear definition between you having achieved or not have achieved your goal? New Year's comes around. I'm going to get in shape this year. What does in shape mean?
Yeah.
There's no clear definition. And the reason that people do this, and this is not to be too hard, but like the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that we set up a clear goal that means that we won or we lost. There's a point that means failure, right? So, people say like at the beginning of the new year, I want to lose weight. I want to get in shape. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, in 3 months, I want to have dropped 10 pounds and be 2 dress sizes smaller. That is a goal. It's smart. It's specific. It's measurable. It's
Attainable,
relevant, and timely, right?
We need to study up on that
We're
one.
going to study. We're going to do it too well, but it's okay. So a SMART goal, that it's a pretty specific thing. What it means is that, like, in that 3 months, I know if I achieved or I didn't achieve my goal, and people don't like looking like failures. We hate failure. We'll do everything in our fucking power to not fail, even if it means actually failing, but not having to own up to the consequences of failing.
Yeah, so us as humans are definitely going to give a less specific answer because that means we're more likely to succeed or we're less likely to fail, right?
Yep.
And so you're going to ask people and they're going to give you a generic answer, and that's not their fault. It's just your job to find out what that specific measurable thing is, because just like you talked about before, that's what differentiates unsuccessful people and successful people.
Absolutely. And we said we're here to raise the standard of the fitness industry. We don't want somebody just working out with us for 2 years and they look the exact same. I don't know about you, but that doesn't get me going.
Yeah, or like you talked about, it doesn't even have to be looks. In their endurance, their mental state, whatever it is,
Yeah.
so specific that they either achieved it or they didn't.
Yep.
And that comes out on you as a trainer too.
Absolutely. And so that's the first part, right? People don't want to give a specific answer, but also this is one that is very hard to teach, but you are a hammer, so you think everything's a nail. What does that mean? You're in the fitness industry, so you know what this looks like. You know what it is. Other people that are not, Deborah, who does accounting and has not seen the inside of a gym since high school, and she's in her mid-40s, she doesn't even really understand the concept of like weight loss and building muscle, and that it takes calories and protein and achieving and lifting heavier weights or being able to go for longer during a cardio session. Those things don't even mean, imagine if you've never worked on a car and I told you that we needed to take out these catalytic converters and put new ones in to be updated for the state of California's new laws and regulations. It wouldn't even fucking...
I already stopped listening.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking mean anything to you. But to an auto expert, they completely understand, right? You have to take people, and that they don't really understand anything. So you need to, like this thing that we just role played, is like that person didn't know that they wanted fat loss. They thought working out was like getting toned or, getting in shape or building some muscle.
Feeling healthier.
Yeah, but okay, no, the actual image that they had in their mind was like, I want to see my abs. Okay, that means we want fat loss. Got it, cool. I have to teach you to make a decision about what it is you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Don't let people kind of like ride the fence on a goal, because then they're never going to achieve it and it's going to be your fault. So, okay, that was the background. The point of this podcast, though, is the dream outcome. Once we know the goal, we can find out the emotional connection to the dream outcome. But we role played it and we made it sound pretty easy and pretty like, we got right to it, right? There are a lot of people are not going to just tell you like, oh, well, I'm just really insecure in this black dress because of my fat rolls, and I'm not dating very well, and I haven't gotten laid in 3 months. Most people are not going to fucking say anything like that. So we got to build into it a little bit. And this is where having vulnerability on your side for asking the right questions, we want to clarify things, saying from your own point of view, like, hey, I was really wanting to get in shape, but it was until I realized that actually, and I'm going to actually speak from my own point of view here. This is really me. My friends are fucking jacked monsters. These guys are all 6'3 plus, 250 pounds. So I'm a big guy, but in comparison, I'm the smallest guy in the group. Do you know what I mean? At 220, I'm the little guy. And so then it's like, I'm constantly fighting to want to get bigger and build more muscle. And if I can explain that to somebody that, hey, I was always working out, but it wasn't until I really realized that I was just kind of insecure around my friends because I was the smaller guy, that is what made the difference. Then I knew what my goal was. Then I knew what my dream outcome was. To be just as big as my friends, to live the same way they do, to look like that. That's what it was. Now I've given a little vulnerability. I've told you about my insecurities. Now
people just feel like they have to give it back to you.
Well, yeah, because we're human beings and we want to reciprocate, right?
Totally.
Like we don't want somebody else to feel bad, and so we want to give that too.
Yeah.
So now we've used some vulnerability. What do we do next?
So then we ask them why they wanted to achieve that goal, right? We get a dream outcome.
Got it.
Then we use that dream outcome to keep them motivated.
Got it.
We continue to use it, whether they're training with us, we're following up with them, however you're communicating with them, making sure we continue to remind them of their dream outcome, because that's what's going to get them through the tough days.
There's actually another podcast that we did called The Follow-Up, which explains the system of the follow-up. But a lot of that in the follow-up is continuously using their dream outcome as a mechanism for communication. So when we reach out, we're not just saying like, hey, are you doing your ab crunches? We're able to say like, hey, how much closer are we to looking hot on the fucking beach, abs out, oiled up with a daiquiri in hand? How are we feeling? How much closer are we? That is going to elicit a much better emotional response.
Yeah, and then they're going to be like, oh crap, I got to continue to get in the gym, work hard,
do my protein,
eat my food,
whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
Whatever your program is that you sold, right?
They're going to be excited to continue to use it because they know that's the solution to getting to that dream outcome.
Yep. And remember, we use the term dream outcome because it does have to be something that they can visualize. Like something that when I say it,
They can feel it.
I can feel the sand in my toes. I know what it's like when I look down and, there's no rolls of fat. It's like, oh, that tight, lean toned belly. I can see that. I know what that feels like. Now that's going to motivate me to keep going.
Yeah, it's like a hamster on a wheel. You put some food in front of it, and it's like,
keep going, keep going, keep going forever. Okay, so we're using it as a follow-up. We're keeping people motivated with it. What else is there that we have to know, like that is going to keep people going for longer? Like, why do we want to do it?
Why would we get emotional connection to it? Well, I mean, you could imagine with anything, we kind of brushed up on like the times we felt unmotivated. Now imagine in that moment, if you had a dream outcome of whatever that hard thing you didn't want to do and decided not to do, if you did that, you would get to that dream outcome. How much more likely would you have been to get the hard work done?
Let's use a specific example. So, yeah, if like your goal is to put on a ton of muscle, right? You want to put on 10 pounds of muscle. If you constantly were reminded from an outside source, not just you in your own head, because you can let yourself down. But if somebody else was constantly reminding you about being able to walk into a room, filling out a shirt the right way, feeling confident and knowing that everybody's looking at you, that is going to be a lot different than being reminded, oh, I only gained 1 pound of muscle this week. It just hits different.
Yeah, totally. I've had a girl come in the store. Her name was Sam. This is some proof that this stuff actually does work. Ran through the thing, right? Asked her what her goal was. She did the classic, well, I want to get strong. And I said, okay, well, getting strong is me putting on muscle mass. So it sounds like we want to put on some weight. Does that sound about right? And she's like, no, I actually want to see the muscle I have first and then build on top of that. And I was like, well, why did we decide that you actually want to lose body fat first? And she was like, oh, well, I want to be strong, but I don't feel strong in the body I am right now. So she's like, so I want to tone up so I can see my muscle mass, and then I feel strong, and then I can continue to work on gaining that strength, gaining muscle mass from there. I was like, well, why did you decide that you want to look strong and then get strong? And then she talked about how like her ultimate dream outcome is being a strong power lifter one day, competing with the top of the top. And that's her dream outcome, is competing in powerlifting. So it went from...
But being lean and jacked while being...
Well, she doesn't feel confident enough to start powerlifting right now because she doesn't look like she is the part. And so in order for her to actually get there and have that dream outcome, she's got to feel confident in her skin first. Like, I am a fitness person who walks in the gym and looks like I should be deadlifting this weight or whatever it might be.
And you know what? Let's break that thing down real quick, because this is an area that I'm just waiting for somebody in the comments to fucking make a point here. Is like, oh, well, you should have told that girl that if she wants to be the best at powerlifting, she's going to have to eat a ton of food and put on weight so that way she can move more weight. All right, listen here, asshole. I know your name is Mark or some bullshit. All right, Devin, you are speaking from a very technical point of view. Beautiful. And you can be technically correct, but not get results. Let me go down this rabbit hole. This is actually probably just as important as a goddamn dream outcome. If you're always speaking from the technical point of view, you are never going to actually help different people get to their goal. This is the nerd that's like, well, actually, and puts his little fucking glasses up. And what happens is like, you may be technically correct about that thing, but if it doesn't drive that person, if it's not their dream outcome, you're never going to change people's internal drivers. You can educate them and you can tell them like, hey, actually, if you really want to be the strongest, you're going to have to eat a ton, you're going to have to gain some weight and do those things. But what you're really doing, I want you to think about this, because imagine right now you're the fucking mad scientist, so you're telling it to this person. Mm-hmm. But imagine the roles are reversed. This is something completely different then, right? You're seeing it from an objective point of view, so you can say objective things. But subjectively, that's not how the person feels.
They operate emotionally.
Everybody operates emotionally. And if you think that they don't, you don't understand people and you don't understand yourself. We are irrational creatures. And that emotional drive is always going to compel us farther. And our goal is to get people results. That's what our goal is. And so if we have to know the technical information, but we have to be able to work from a psychological point of view.
Exactly.
And that emotional connection is what's going to actually compel people over the long run to do it. I want to wrap it up into a little bow real quick. I want to make sure that we hit the point. Goal has a number, got to be specific. Dream outcome, something tangible, something they can visualize and is emotional. It drives them and compels them. I also want to add in, the way that you can get that very quickly is by using your own vulnerability. Vulnerability-based trust sounds like foo-foo, magic, and unicorns, but you know what? It is the toughest thing in the world to do.
Yeah. Again, psychological.
Very psychological.
Yeah.
If we're able to be vulnerable, then people are going to give us vulnerability. And only a truly tough person can use vulnerability. Only a weak person thinks that that's a weak thing. On to the next point. We have to keep people motivated over the long run. You can techno-babble people into some bullshit.
Feature dump it
for a month, for sure. But to keep people going over the long haul, like the reason that people work as hard as they do and have kids and get sleepless nights is because they love their kids, not because they're thinking, I have to procreate my progeny.
If I want to be a part of evolutionary processes.
No, they're going to work, they're making money, they're struggling, they're getting by, they're raising their kids, they're feeding them, they're watching them grow because of the love and emotional connection that they have. That will keep them going for another 50 years. Mm-hmm. That emotional connection will always work longer and harder.
Totally.
Bingo, bango. All right. That's the podcast.
Beautiful.
Thank you guys for listening. Again, we're here to raise the standard of the fitness industry. I want to tag this into what we actually talked about. Sometimes I think that in the fitness industry, a lot of people do know the technical stuff. We know how to do these things, and we're coming at things from a very technical point of view. But again, imagine, like I said, it's like a doctor, right? If there's a doctor that tells you like black and white, this is how it is, make your choice, whatever, that's not the best doctor. The best doctor is the one that like gets to know you and your family and why you're doing this and what's going on. That compassion and that love. We have statistical information that shows us those people live longer when they have a doctor that's compassionate. That's what we have to do. We have to raise the standard of the fitness industry to where we are compassionate with people and we are helping them get results, be healthier, be happier, and live longer lives. If you find some value in some of this that we did here, please share it with one specific person. Let them know that there's some value that you can take out of this. All right. Thank you, guys.
Love you. Bye.
We'll see you next time.